What's up? What's up? What's up? If you're watching the replay, you already know I got something good for you. So you might as well hang out. Hopefully, I'm thinking the screen is flipped. I don't know if y'all seeing it right or wrong. They need to allow you to change that on the front-facing camera. If I do get on a board for something that matters to you guys, I'll flip the camera so you can see it. But yeah, man, it's one of them days today. I'm out. Just had to go for my morning coffee run here. And just been in a mind state of what's next, right? And I want you guys to get to the point where you're asking yourself what's next, but you first have to understand what the goal is. All right. And I did something this morning because I went to get the coffee. I had to drop one of the kids off to school because they missed the bus. So I do that. Then I would go to TJ Maxx, but it's like 7:45. They don't open till like 9 something. I'm like, oh man, I gotta go. I was sitting in the parking lot listening to something cool. So as I'm leaving out, I see this neighborhood off to the side. And I turned into this neighborhood. And the neighborhood I turned into was of $1 million homes in this area, right? If I had to tell y'all a story, when I was a kid, I had met my mentor. I was like maybe sophomore in high school. Met my mentor. He took me on a ride out to meet one of his real estate buddies, and I was in $1 million home, and I'm like, I thought in another state, right? So anyway, I turned in and I'm riding through the neighborhood, and I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, they got 2 garages. And I start to think about, yo, I could have a screen print machines in one. I could have a studio in the other. They like off to the side facing each other. Had the round drive through with a nice sized walkway. And I'm like, oh man, I can see myself living here. And every day I ride through the neighborhood I live in, and you talking about $350,000 homes here. And I'm like, none of these houses quite fit me. The one I'm in, if I could buy one of the ones that I'm in, they got some that's owned. If I could buy one of the ones I'm in, but the rest of these houses in the neighborhood, they quite fit me, right? The look, me being able to do what I want to do inside of the house, like what I would want to have built, the framework isn't quite right. How does this relate? Today, I set a goal on where I want to be, what type of house I want to live in. I've moved the goalposts, right? Now I got to ask myself, what is it that I do to be able to, what is it that I got to do in order to get in the position, not where I can own a $350,000 or $300,000 house, but I can get into the mind state or in a position to own a $1.2 million house. And you got options. I can move to Atlanta, where my sister moved, and find a $1 million house out here that is about 5,400 down there. Moving is an option, right? But either way, I need to put myself in position to be able to own a $1 million home, right? You can move and go somewhere else, get the same type house, less money, but is it really about the house? Or does the location also matter to you? Because you can figure out how to own a $1 million house up here and go down there and get an even bigger house for $1 million. I said all that to say you got to set a goal and then you got to create the plan to get there, right? I think what I'm working on right now is a plan to get me to that $1 million house. There's some things I got to do with inside of it, and it may be also owning a $300,000 house in the process of getting there. It ain't got to happen, and it ain't going to happen for you tomorrow. And if it does, then great. You set the goal, you project the timeline, but you're not bound to it. Because if you say, I'm going to have this by this date specifically, great chance that you get there, and hopefully you do. But when you don't get there, you're going to fail to move the goalpost for yourself. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know what I need to learn in order to help me get into that position. But what I do know how to do is market, and that's what we'll talk about today in this video. So that was a little rant. I want you guys out here to understand that you need a nerd. And I say nerd with love. For you guys who don't know, was like a cool nerd, right? I'm into computers and coding and all of this, and I'm in classroom with like computer kids and all of this kind of stuff, but I was an athlete. So I had a nice mix. I had nerd friends. I wouldn't let my popular friends pick on. You know what I'm saying? I would be, I'm just that guy, right? And so the things that I've learned from a technical aspect are ultimately the things that have me where I am today, right? So when I say you need a nerd in your business, you need to get nerdy. I'm not even gonna write it down. This plane going by. Coffee break. And I'm gonna tell you guys in this also why I got very good at what I do. You need to get very nerdy about the numbers, about the details. You need to get very nerdy about the details of your business. Okay? And you need to make decisions based on the details, based on what comes down in black and white. What's profitable, what's not profitable. What is selling and what is not selling. And do more of things that are working. Do more selling of things that are selling. Don't go try to go against the grain. Maybe you may have to reframe what you're doing. But if you have something that may not be what you thought was working, the nerd gonna look at the numbers and say, yeah, but you thought that was working, but it's really not, because this over here is through the moon right now. It's through the moon right now. And I'm framing all of this stuff because I know you guys are interested in t-shirts, but when I tell you this goes beyond t-shirts, it doesn't matter what business it is. It doesn't matter what the product is. You need to have a product, right? Before, I didn't have a product. I'm very comfortable being not being the face of anything. That's how I grew up. That's what I grew up doing. Getting behind people with a product, with a business, within entrepreneurship, and adding my nerdiness to it and helping it grow. So then some might come along and say, well, if you did all that, well, why don't you do it for yourself? Okay, no problem. Most people don't go out and put you a gift for themselves. That's what jobs are. Most people don't use their gift for themselves. They go and they get a job. There's more security in it. In fact, the business owners hire the best people to help them perform their vision. Different roles, from HR to marketing to finances. You either have to do one of two things. You either have to acquire the skills or you have to hire the skill. And if you're not in position to hire the skill, you must acquire it. If you don't have the money to hire somebody to do what you need to do, then you have to learn it. You have to acquire that skill to some degree. I hope this is making sense to y'all. They say it takes 10,000 hours to get good at something. And I would agree, because I've always been the person to put my head down. When I want to accomplish something, I put my head down and I go out and I try to learn everything I need to learn to accomplish that, and not one step further. I put my head down, I take 10,000 hours, I put up 10,000 shots. I just work at this one skill until I figure it out. And I'm asking myself along the way, what is it that I need to learn in order to help me get to the level that I want to be at? The level isn't defined by anybody else but me. I'm not looking at what other people are doing and saying, I want to do it just like them. I have an objective when I go in, and it's not swayed by other people. It's not swayed by circumstance. So you have an opportunity. You're out doing the work and you know what you're trying to get to. You have the opportunity to buy someone else's 10,000 hours. And you can acquire the skill faster so that you can do the work, or you can know how to guide somebody to do the work. I don't know if I told y'all this, but I decided I'm gonna coach high football again. And the head coach asked me if I needed another coach with me for the defensive backs. I'm gonna be the defensive coordinator, and I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like, I can find you a volunteer. I was like, wait, give me a young volunteer. Don't be some old coach, and give me a young kid that's hungry. I'll get him right. We gotta always continue to bring the next along. Have a mentor and be a mentor at all times. And I get on the phone with the new staff, and actually I didn't even know this, but somebody else I coached with before, and he's telling the head coach, he's like, yo, everything I learned, like, we had a head coach, but everything I learned about how to do something or how we should go about it or preparation, I learned from Stan. It's like, so I'm honored to go back and work for him again. Work with him, for him, however you want to put it. You got to have a mentor and be a mentor at all times. There are companies that I've helped make millions for because they had a product, and it has nothing to do with just the t-shirt industry. And I said to say, you need a nerd on your team. And if you're not a nerd, you need to come and join the Six-Figure Printer Club and take the Six-Figure Printer Blueprint. You gotta get in here. The crew is loving it. We working. I'm actually going through right now and looking at the websites they built. Right? Last week, I gave them the platform to build their websites. I gave them the video series on what needs to be in it. Yesterday, we reviewed some of the information, some of the things, and we took what they had and they're tweaking it. And then I'm going to help them get in there, because y'all know I build websites. So I'm going to help them get in there, and I'm going to get it aesthetically right for some of the things they struggle with. But this is not the situation where they're paying me to do it. They're paying me to learn. They have paid for in order to learn the skills that they need in order to build their business up bigger, better, and stronger. And it's completely making sense. And I can't wait till we get to these things that are coming for them, because the payoff of where they are now, the foundation that they're setting, getting in and building a proper website, or having a website done, having it available, being able to utilize that as a tool for their business, rather than just having their logo on the screen or some other option. Following in the framework and then building out from there. So we're going to be reviewing them next week. This week is a checkup week. Some of them, we got to get it in right. Right? I'm not here to dictate what it looks like, what low, like, we're not here to do that. If you already got it, let's go. Because truthfully, none of it matters. But it all matters at the end of the day. Somebody said, What books would you recommend? I read books, so I can't tell you. I got a bunch of them, but I learned from hearing. Me and reading don't get along. There's one book that I would recommend you read. It's called Still Like an Artist. That's one book. Outside of that, you should read my books. I got 3 of them. One for marketing, one for time, and one for pricing. Get your t-shirt business right. This is going to be pretty much the last year that I'm going to be doing this. Rolling into this time next year, we're going to be cutting back and we're going to be working in another space. This will be running on autopilot. I got goal for this business, right? I had to figure out, I told you guys earlier, you say, some people will say, rather not you say, some people will say, well, why don't you do it for yourself, right? And you have to figure out, you have to have a product. And you have to be dedicated to that product through and through, right? And for me, I found out that I was using other people's products. Fine, no big deal. But at the point that I'm at now, I'm saying, hey, I got my own products, right? And listen, guys, it's not going to be smooth sailing. You're going to do some things, people are going to be upset. You're going to do some things, you're not going to get it right. You're going to fail. Things are going to break. Everywhere you go is going to happen. But you got to keep going. You got to keep getting better. So one of the things that I failed at up to this point was marathon. I was going to write on the board. I don't want to really erase this. Let's talk about it. One of the things that I failed at was marathon. Marathon.supply, the supply company that I was starting. I've talked about it. I put it out there, but I couldn't quite be full steam in that and over here. Fulfilling orders became a problem. I was getting orders, but I wasn't serving those people well. Had to get some chargebacks. And then I started to say, you know what? I need help. I need to, right now, what I got going on is not the best setup in order for what I'm trying to do to be successful. It's not the right setup. So I need to hold on a second and I need to figure out what is the right setup. So I put it on the shelf. And last night, we took preparation to relaunch it under Marathon Print Supply. Get a little bit more specific. I fixed it. Marathon Print Supply. And now making sure I got the assets around me. And we got a few more steps to do. But making sure that it can operate properly. I had to figure out what was wrong. I had to be a nerd and step back and say, you know what? I got to do something better here. What is it that I need to fix in order to help me get this to where I want it to go? I had to create a product, right? The other product that I had to do is I had to spend 5 months, damn near 6 months, figuring out how to turn T-shirt side hustle into a product. I had a mission when I started T-shirt side hustle to say companies were going to pay me. I started that in 2018. I'm telling myself that it didn't happen until 2020. I didn't want to charge you guys for information. I said, I'm going to get companies to pay me. I don't know how. I don't know who I got to talk to. I don't know what I need to learn. I don't know anything about how to do it, but I'm going to figure it out. And in 2020, I figured it out. To the point that I grew and pretty much became a consultant was my way. I didn't really get paid as an influencer. I did make affiliate commissions and all of that kind of stuff. I didn't do brand deals. I got paid behind the scenes to do marketing consulting. To the sum of 5 and 6 figure deals per company. So I had to now reinvent myself after being blackballed and figure out how am I really going to turn it into an asset? I built a new asset in here, which was consulting. And I'm going to bring this home to the importance of all of this, what I'm about to tell you guys. Consulting. So I had to double back now and say, all right, how are we going to get t-shirt stylists on his feet? Because if I want to keep going in my print shop, I'll never be able to do both. Travel, educate on the road, attend all of these shows, go meet people. I didn't have a business model in the beginning around attending the shows, and run a local-based print shop. I figured that out a long time ago. So there's things that I need to learn even to make the print shop better to this day. I can make this print shop make money. However, I need to be present. So what I need to learn when it comes to the print shop is how do I do that better without me being the person doing the work. Either hire people or outsource better. I've already outsourced. I've tried hiring people, but I have not quite perfected the system and income inside the business to keep that thing going. So this time around, I called my sister Brandy, and I said, what's going on? I know you're making clothes. She done learned some things and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, listen, I'm about to go get this thing another attempt, but I'm also doing this stuff. If we get it going, we can pay you to run the shop based on the numbers that I did last year. It can probably pay about X amount of dollars. I'll get yours first. We build it up. You can keep doing your clothing brand stuff. Let's build a business. I've tried to get other people to help me, right? I've hired people, but I also had to be there to manage people, which is ultimately where the problem came in. So I believe she has a skill set to be able to help me in this area if I can build the revenue back up. Right? Again, remember one of the things I said is we don't want to keep starting over. Not in this video, but in one of the other lives, we talked about like how you keep starting over and over and over again because you holes in the bucket. Me traveling created a very large hole in this bucket. Me going to educate you guys and travel and to meet up put a very big hole in this bucket. So much though that I stopped for 4 years. Opened up last year and I'm sitting right there with a big hole at the bottom because the second that I pick up and travel, I lose a week. If I leave for a day, I lose a week in the business. The whole week is off, right? So that's one of the things that I got to figure out. So I had to put my head down literally for 5 months. January, February, March, April, we in May. Ending out May. I thought it was going to take, remember I said don't put a timeline on? I said, yo, I'm going to spend 2 months and I'm going to figure this out. I'll be up and rolling by March. Well, March actually turned into May. And I just am at the point where I'm at the last mile of the whole entire thing. The last, and I am projecting that the last thing that I have to get working and get going, there's one thing left that I have to, on the things that I thought I needed to learn. Now, I may get into that one thing, and that thing may have things that I need to learn. But again, based on the system that I wanted to acquire, the things that I wanted to learn, everything is here. It's one thing left for me to get this to an asset. And the asset is me. Me helping you guys get to 6 figures and more. I've already helped people get started. There's people out here that I've helped already from the content because they chose to pick up the phone and ask questions and join the classes last year that I gave out for Pay What You Want to test and out for you guys what you could possibly build inside your shop. Hell, I went and did it myself. I fell 10% short of my goal. But 90K in your first year is not a bad year at all. So cool. we have all of these different aspects of things that we're doing, right? Now, there's another side of your side hustle where companies want me to be a brand ambassador. I have not even figured out how to do that yet. I really don't want it anymore unless I'm partnered in the business. So I don't want to go work with another supplier. I want to create the supplier and run the same game plan that I'm telling you guys about right now. Run the same game plan because it works no matter what the product is. What I want you guys to know and understand from this is, and ask yourself is, where do I got to go, or what do I want, and what do I need to learn to get there? If the print shop is your tool to help you get to whatever it is that you're looking for, if the print shop is the goal, then you go either you're going to have to go and follow and figure it out. If you want to go fast, you got to acquire the 10,000 hours. You got to acquire the system. So we created the 6-figure printer blueprint. I had to learn how to package it up for you guys. I told you guys I'm working on, there's 3 printer, one of my consultant deals, and there's 2 other products have nothing to do with the print industry at all. And I think that I can take those products and I can take them to $1 million each in revenue within 3 years. So in my mind, I can take 3 completely separate products and get them to $1 million in 3 years. Now that I have figured out what my skill set is, and again, whatever your skill set may be, you just got to figure out how to package it up. What is going to make your business great is you. So you got to figure this out. We can help. I can help. You can find your niche or whatever. Nonetheless, there's 3 companies that I think I can get to $1 million each within 3 years. Call it outlandish. The question, oh, all right. I didn't really think it mattered, but I'll get it right for you. So what's up top? That's what I was running this morning. We're just talking about what's right here. And that's good that you asked, because I'm gonna make this all make sense. Let me turn YouTube on up here just in case you guys comment and I can see myself. Coffee. My stepdaughter bought me coffee, guys. I told her it was the best coffee that I've had in a very long time. I have coffee a lot, and I told her she has to buy me coffee all the time now. She said, all the time? She said, all the time? What the heck? What the hell? What the hell is popular this? What the hell? Just need to chat. Pop out. Are you guys understanding this conversation here? And I'm trying to make it about t-shirts, but it's really here. What's up, Wicked Designs? What's up? All right, where was I? So there's 3 products that I believe that I can get to $1 million each. So on the back side of that, I got to figure out what is it that I want, if I can do this. Because at the end of the day, life is about making deals. When you chose your profession, when you got your job that you're working, when you got your job, you made a deal with the company to perform a certain amount of work in exchange for a certain amount of money over a certain amount of hours, right? If you work for yourself, you deal with yourself that you're going to figure out how to pay these bills. Made a deal with your spouse, your significant other, your kids, that you're going to figure out how to pay these bills. In my mind, based on what I know now, is I'm not really interested in working for a company that, one, isn't paying me what it's worth from day one, or that I don't have a piece of. I'm past the prove it state. But for us, we need to do a year trying to figure out really what we're good at. We got to prove what we're good at, or what we think we're good at, so that we can be proven. I'm past the prove it stage. I'm proven. So once I decide the scale and scope of a project, I need the cost, I need a fee to start immediately, not on the backside. I did the proof point and where I went through and I did the work, and then the pay grew later. Well, I had to now look at it and say, well, what's the difference if they hired somebody to do it or they paid me? Because what's happened in the past is I did the work, somebody else got hired, and then later on I got paid a little bit more. Weep that now, right? You can zoom past that phase in your print shop if you got the right information, the right systems and processes in place, and we cover again in the blueprint. So down here, I want ownership. I'll do the marketing of a product. I need help with the actual execution and deliverability of the product, whatever it may be. If there's a product, I can do marketing no matter what it is. So I can take a little bit less of my consultant fee to get ownership. Again, how does this translate to you guys? How does this go back to the print shop? You own a print shop. I told you in the beginning in this title, your t-shirt business needs a nerd. I am the nerd that your t-shirt business might need. Some of you guys, if your t-shirt business is a print shop, then I'm the nerd you need. If your t-shirt business is an Etsy store or some craft and it's not a t-shirt, it's a craft, or you want to drop ship and just work from the computer, you need to go see another nerd. If you got a clothing brand and you want to get it to another level, you need to go see another nerd. Because the nerds are the one, not that they may be nerdy in a sense, but they're the ones who understand now, because of the level that they've done, what they needed to do before, and they've nerded out about the numbers to help them analyze what they're doing, what's working and what's not. So I told you guys, and I'm missing. Okay, yeah, this is right. I coach football now, right? The key that is gonna get me to the houses that I went to go see today, that I rode by, the key is gonna be here. Here will help me go from buying or living in a $300,000 home to a $1.2 million home. Right? My laser focus, my skill set be in marketing. You have to find one thing and get it off the ground, and then you can go accomplish everything else that you may want to accomplish. You gotta find a horse. What's my man name? It's not. I forgot the guy, but the owner of Barstool Sports, I forgot his name. Yesterday he said, one thing I've learned is that once you got some money, it's easier to make more money. He said, if I had to go make $10 million, we got to put this in perspective. If I had to go make $10 million, then I would be able to do that in a week, no problem now. It was about getting my first million, and once I got my first million, I can grow that multiply because I have something, a foundation to be able to go and do it. So this being the element or the horse, T-shirt side hustle has been the horse that has allowed me to build up my gifts. If your print shop is the horse that's going to allow you to do whatever else it is that you want to do, because this is the business that decided to run, and you got to do everything you possibly can to get to whatever revenue goal you want to get to. The key here for me now is building this strong enough to sustain or to get me to the next goal. And when I pop this out, the thing that I'm ultimately thinking that's going to stop me, help me getting there, is taking my skill set that I've mastered in the apparel decorating space and expanding it outside of that into some other realms, proving out my concept that I know how to do marketing. I used to think that I had to prove this to people. I had to prove my ability to people. And I proved it. Now I'm thinking, I gotta prove to myself that I'm everything that I believe I am, that I'm that good, that I know what I'm talking about. And the only way that I feel like I will prove it to myself is if I go out and I do it outside of the t-shirt industry. So I found the mechanism that I believe will help me get here. I'm gonna be able to prove it to myself, and in the payoff is gonna be getting that $1.2 million home. I don't really aspire to live in a $1.2 million home or a big home, but wouldn't that be a great goal to have? I literally rode around my neighborhood every day looking at the house that I might buy as they go up for sale. Not really in love with it. But this morning, I was able to move the goalpost on the goal. And maybe, again, I may have to buy the $300,000 house. I may buy a $100,000 house to have as a rental property. There's a lot of things that may happen, but setting that guard far enough that it's going to take enough work to get there. Some of you guys, the first goalpost is getting to 6 figures in this business. If I can get to 6, then what can I do after that? What does that look like? What is it for? What are you trying to accomplish? What's payoff? So, if you guys be around other like-minded individuals, if you guys want to be guided in the process, if you want to be able to bounce your ideas around, if you want to follow them, if you want help, if you're stuck, down in the description below, you'll see a link to book a call with me. The first link down there. Book the call. Also, get on the email list. Whether you get in the program or not, be on the email list. Pay attention to YouTube, because every Monday at noon, I've committed myself back to content. Every Monday at noon, I'm not going to be showing you how to print a t-shirt. I'm going to be showing you how to build a business. I'm going to be giving you the conversations that you need to have, like this one right here. Telling you to get serious about your goals. And I already know. I just talked to somebody the other day and I said I know, because that was me. I just got up and I just went with the day. You can choose right now to not get up and just go with the way the day happens. You can make that choice. You can make today more purposeful by setting a goal. And if you don't have a goal, add up all of your expenses, add up all of your bills, and make that the goal. That's the first down. Let's just go get this first down. And after we get that first down, let's go get the next first down. And you can take the time to figure out where ultimately the touchdown is for you. But after you score the touchdown or get the first down or whatever may happen, still got to line up and keep playing, or you can just bask in that area that you at until you can't no more. I just opened my own design and consulting firm this March, brother. I left the corporate world and took a chance. I'm also a nerd. That's it. Let's connect. Let's connect. Let's build. Let's network. You know, when I talked to one of the guys in the program with yesterday, I was like, listen, you got design skills. Two of your counterparts in the program might need your services. So I need to see your services. I need to see what you're capable of so that I can now go refer you to somebody else. Because now you got to give me the confidence to be able to know that you can do what you say you're going to do. So get your portfolio together. Do you got prices for it? I know you don't have prices for design. We all want to give design away. We all want to include in a t-shirt. And it works if it's a big enough order, but it doesn't work here, so you got to start charging. There's so many lessons in what it is that we got to do. And I'm going to tell you, the stuff that you got to do to get to 6 figures is not rocket science. It's all the stuff you ignore. All of the stuff you ignore. You ignore having business cards. You ignore having flyers. You ignore having a website. You ignore going out and giving your card out to people. You ignore sending emails. You ignore all of the things that you need to build your business up so that it can sustain whatever you're trying to get to. So that it can help you get to whatever you do. What we're talking about really not even nothing that they don't know. Yeah, we building websites. They may not know how to do that and all of that kind of stuff, but they know they need a website. They know they need a website. I spent all of 2024 telling you guys you need this stuff. You really need the mindset, and you really need an understanding of what order to do things in. We get super overwhelmed. We get super overwhelmed because there is so much to do. Well, a part of what I do is I say, hey, we ain't trying to get it. We ain't trying to be perfect. We trying to be done. Done is better than perfect. And there's a bunch of things that we got to get done. But once they're all done, we can then go back and elevate them all. And we can do that again. And we can do that again. But let's just get the homepage of it. Nothing else. Here are the principles to build the homepage. Let's do that and nothing else. Okay, cool. Let's move over to this. I make this analogy, and I made it the other day, and I think it's the perfect analogy. Bro, you got to clean up your house. Inside and out. Inside and out. You got to clean up your house. Meaning, when people see your business, the front of your house, oh, it's clean outside. It don't look dirty. It ain't got stuff trash all over the place. You got to clean up your house. But then when they come inside and do business with you, they come in the house, you also still clean up your house. You got to take care of them. You got to have some hospitality in your house and in your business. The kids come around, you know, you got some pick and let behind the scenes that it ain't got to be perfect. They your regulars. But when you invite somebody new over, you going to run around and pick up behind them kids. The second time they come, they family. They don't get your own drink. Don't ask me to get you nothing. It's in the kitchen right there, the bathroom right there. Don't go where you ain't supposed to go or you ain't invited. You know what I'm saying? Don't go upstairs and be snooping around. But, you know, that's how it go. Good morning, good morning. Y'all got any this, man? If not, I'm going back to keep learning. I got some stuff to do. I'm thinking about these new presses. This right here is we I'm back and forth on the name, but This is going to be the craft press kit. This is a press kit right here. You build it yourself. So when you get it, you put it together. Pretty cool. And this is a screen print product. My goal is to get a lot of you guys screen printing. My goal is to get a lot of people screen printing again because there's money in screen printing. There's ease of use in DTF and all of that kind of stuff, but wholeheartedly and firmly believe that there's money in screen printing. You know, there's control in your business if you screen print. It's not as bad as people may think. I think the old timers of the industry did a great job making it seem like it's so hard and messy and it's too much, so that you don't do it. All the while they're running out and running around making a ton of money, or not making it revenue. So this is the light version. The light version, it's like cozies and pockets and sleeves and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Then there's going to be a bigger one for t-shirts. And then we got some fun things. The best attribute about this is you're going to get to paint it and build out your kit yourself. Meaning you're going to get to pick the color. We're going to build it for you. You're going to get to make it. So you pick the color. You know, you can pick upgrades and different things. And we're going to take this in the craft market for the next year. And then we have more that are in development right now. We got what I'm calling it's called a Cure Star, but we created the new Cyber Cure top, the Cyber top, and we've made the equipment look better. So I'm selling my shop. I'm getting a new shop. It's gonna be super dope. I'm probably gonna paint it and all of that kind of stuff myself, and I'm going to show you guys behind the scenes what it takes to make your press. And for those who get shops, we get to match it to your brand colors. For those of you who have or want to get started screen printing on a budget with something light and portable, and something that you can make money with, here will be that. It's going to be freaking awesome this year. You can bring in screen printing back. We're going to invite and we're going to welcome the new generation of screen printers with this press. So stay tuned. This is one of the 3 products that I was talking about earlier. And just wait till you guys see what we have going on. Put this back. Put this back here. I'm about 3 weeks away from GPX Indy. I'm excited to be in Indy because I got 2 presentations in Indy, and one of them is Beyond 6 Figures, where we go over a little bit of the system that will help you get more organized and do all of the stuff that you need to do. And then the other one was organic marketing. It's how to execute upon what I would call the retention-based marketing system, which is what we specialize on in the program. The retention-based marketing system runs on the premise about owning your city, owning your town, or owning your niche, and how you can capitalize off of the compounded success and the compounded momentum that you can create as you go out and do things that you normally do, right? If you guys haven't gotten the marketing book, you should check it out because it goes over these concepts created called the perfect job and the perfect customer, which is what, no matter what you're doing, you want to build your business around the perfect job and the perfect customer. And I saw this ad today that was really funny because I was literally just telling my guy that yesterday, and he said he used to work at this print shop, and his commercial came on, and it said, "Hey, business owners, You order apparel more than 3 times a year, which is at least 4 times, right? Which is at least 4 times. He got very specific. He said, hey, check out why my print shop is the best in this area and why thousands of other business owners choose to shop with us. Being very specific about your perfect customer and being able to call them out. I believe the perfect customer is the customer that's going to shop with you multiple times a year, at least 4. And I saw this print shop for the first time say exactly what I said, but this time he said an ad. Genius. Understanding that the system works. There's certain that will make life easier for you if you took the time to figure them out and implement them. Some of this stuff you only have to implement one time. And then you allow it to build and compound. The truth is, it's probably already working for you. However, it's not compounding on the stuff that you've already done because you don't have the system in place. I.e., some of you guys out here, the thing is already working for you, but you don't have the system in place to capitalize on it behind the scenes. You got to clean up your house. You're inviting people in, and they're coming in, and they're not liking, not enjoying what they see. And it's not just about, did you bring and deliver the t-shirts? You got a bucket, you're pouring water into the bucket, and there's holes everywhere. Some holes are big, some holes are small. I told you guys, when I travel, I don't know, I can't hear myself when the planes go by. If y'all got any questions, put them in the chat. I'm about to get off. If there's no questions, by the time I'm done this last little part, I'm going to move on. But you got a bucket. Some of the holes are big, some of the holes are small. And I told you guys that my big hole was me going and traveling for 14 days a month. Me traveling for one day because ultimately I'll lose a week. Me traveling and going to conferences and stuff was the hole in my t-shirt. So in order to plug that hole, I need to learn how to do one or two things. Outsourcing or hire. I've done both, not really well, and you know what it was? I didn't have a system. I didn't have a industry-specific billing and invoicing app so that anyone can put in how much something costs. I had to answer every phone call. There was a wheel. This is me. There's a wheel around me, and everything that had to happen had to go through me. This was me. So I hired somebody. I had to keep going back and forth with them, telling them what to do. I outsource over here. I got to keep going back and forth, making sure it's done. I had to do artwork down here. I had to keep going back and forth and making sure it got done. I had to talk to the customer. I had to be the one to keep going back and forth. It's you. And if you want to grow, when it's you, hey, what can I do to make this a little bit easier? How can I remove some of this back and forth? So how can I hire somebody to talk to the customer? And when it talks back, they went here. And if I decided to have that hire send the job because they don't know how to print, or they do know how to use a print, right? Whether they do or don't know how to print, I need them on how to outsource or print. I need to train them on how to deal with artwork. And the artwork had to go to the outsourcer. How can I remove myself from this? That a system comes in. And you got to build it. You got to build it. I just left breadcrumbs right here on all the stuff that you need to do or can do about it. You said that's a lot for one person. Ain't that what you do? Isn't that what you're doing inside your t-shirt business? You can do this all the way to $300,000. It can be painful or it can be stressful. Things are gonna mess up. You're gonna break things. You're gonna make people unhappy. You're gonna learn. You're gonna grow from it. You can clean it up now on the way there, or you can look back and say, what the hell happened? When you got a system, your financials are a lot more clear. Some of us don't know how much money we're making. And I'm saying that to myself. I know exactly where that was because that was me. Because I'm just running. You never got time to look at the money. But when you got a system, it becomes very clear. It becomes very clear that you can see where the money's going. This allows you to pay yourself. Some of us are stealing from the business. It's your money. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, big thing, but we ain't consistent about paying ourselves. We can't fathom hiring somebody else because we don't even technically pay ourselves. So if I had to wrap this conversation up, and I'm telling you guys, you need a nerd. I'm telling you guys, either you become the nerd or you hire a nerd. And the one way you can become the nerd is to jump in the six-figure printer blueprint program. And I will show things you need to focus on, the things you need to nerd out about, that if you spend 90 days doing this, your business moving forward will be better off. You'll be better off. And from there, it's just about compounding success. It's not a magic wand to say, hey, you're going to get to six figures next month by the end of this year. It's not a magic wand. It's saying that if you put all of this system together, you understand it, you know how it works, you figure it out, you build it, you won't have holes in your bucket. And it's saying, then you go out and you do the work in order to do the business, acquire new customers, and you keep nerding about the results that you're getting or not getting and analyzing it and perfecting it. At the end of the day, you will get to where you want to go because the success will compound exponentially. It'll start like this, seem like it's hopeless. You'll have a little bit of success, $2,000 this month, $4,000, and the next thing you know, you at $10K a month before you know it. And before you know it, could be a year from now, it could be 5 months from now, it could be 3 years from now. But the more work you do, the faster you speed it up, the more your system is operable and you understand it and you know how it works and you're proud of it, the more likely you are to go out. If your house is clean, you don't have a problem with people coming over. But when that house is dirty, you be like, you think about, oh, you want to come over when? You want to come over Friday? Okay, today's Thursday. What I gotta do? Oh yeah, I can clean up. Yeah, I can clean up before they come. You know what I'm saying? That a great analogy or no? So again, if you guys want to be around like-minded individuals, you can call it down below. No questions here, just a lot of comments. Cool. If there's no questions, I'll give y'all a couple things here. I'm going to get off, and I'm going to go continue to work on my skill set. Can continue to learn the things that I need to learn. So right now, I'm on the very last step of the things that I needed to figure out. And now I'm at the point where that last step for me is ads. And so that's what I'm focused on right now, is learning ads for my business. Inside of my consulting clients, there's other tasks that I got to do. which right here is just figuring out the funnel and how this process for building these kits is gonna go, what they're gonna cost and all of that kind of stuff, and how I'm gonna create this great experience to survive or to bring back screen printing. Because I think 10% of you guys here, if you're not already, just on this live right here, I think we peaked at 20 people. I can't tell how many people's on here now, but I think we peaked at 20 people. 12 people right now, and that means one of you guys shit in the screen printing, because you're gonna be the anomaly. It's gonna be the difference maker in what you're doing, and I wholeheartedly, I think 100 a day screen printing keep the bill collectors away. 100 a day will get you to 6 figures. 100 a day screen printing. It's not hard. 20 orders a month screen printing will get you to the goal that you need to be at. 2,000 shirts a month will get you to where you need to be. Trust me. Trust me. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys. You guys got something out of this video. Comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I make content like this all the time. And it's the realest content on the internet, especially when you talk about in the print shop game. It's boy Stan Banks. Peace.